Can we
Any
have drummers up here,
any
please?
more drummers up here? We need some more.
I know that the chemicals are hurting our people, not only our people, but the whole side of the United States and Canada where we are. It's really been hard for me as an elder, and I see the things that's happening to our wildlife and everything. It's being poisoned. We can't even eat the meat anymore that when I was a child, that's what I depend on, to have all this meat and the vegetables we planted. Even our gardens are getting kind of polluted. And that's what we had. When I was a child, we lived on that. We didn't have to go to the store or anything. But now, you can't even eat anything like that. I know I can't. So let's pray that this will be stopped. All of you should join with everybody that's that. So if you just pray about it and ask that it be stopped, the Lord will help us in stopping it, because He's always our source of everything. So I ask in everybody that knows how to pray, because all of us do at least once in our life, and you know what it means. God answers our prayers. Heavenly Father, we ask that you clean this river and clean the air and clean the things that we need. And Lord, we ask you that you help us as a people that live and plan our resources from all these things that we have around here. So Lord, help us to regain our source of your help. Amen. Not motionayo, kinachit nishawa manesho kusenman, chabinak minuayo, tanasanman, ninwagay bis chabinak. Not motionayo, chabuntawat ganda, tuwan mayo, and chududagyan, kainin ng oxysimis tayo. Tap namang yung mga benjong bis, ninwamandamatyang, kilinwagabina tiyo. May mga request ko yun, no sermon. Amen.
Whoa! No more spill! 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 We want clean water for our children!
The ones that don't have
Other MPs as well. good to see you all show up today. I thank our God, our Creator, for great weather. I thank Him for this earth and the good things that He's put in it. I thank Him for the sun, the clean water, the way it used to be. Today we're gathered here to talk to Chemical Valley. Today we're starting with Polysar. We have been talking with industries in Sarnia. A few months back, we demanded a meeting with the federal and the provincial governments. And they met with us. We had meetings, and they listened to us. They heard us, but they didn't do anything about it. So that's why we're gathered here today. About 2 weeks ago, we had 3 spills in a row, one weekend. At our council meeting, they said, what are we going to do about it? I get media calling me, saying, what are you going to do about it? So today, this is what we're going to do about it. Today is the first phase. Today is a peaceful march. We're coming together as a people, not just Native Americans, but as the elder said, this affects all people downriver. Our brothers in Wallaceburg, in Canada, and those in Algonac and Marine City in the U.S. As North American Indians, we can go, our land is North America. There is no border. So we come under one cause, one enemy. Give me some records on the number of spills. There are a lot of companies that do pollute the water. There's Dow, Kessel, Shell, Suntor, even this CN ferry dock, fiberglass. So what I've done for today, we're talking to Polysar today. This is our first phase. And this is it. The number of spills starting in the year 1986. Mark. And these are not spaced way out. That is awful. That's terrible.
No more spills!
Polysar, from the beginning till 1992, has 109 spills. Totally, with all the companies in Chemical Valley, there's been 550 spills that we know of. Where did this all go? It went downriver to First Nations people. It affected our natural resources, our fish, and our ducks, and our muskrat. It affects us because that is our food. That is our livelihood. That is our way of life. Something has to be done. This is phase one. I had asked somebody from the Assembly First Nations asked, Ovid Mercury, said Chief Robert Williams, Walpole Island First Nation. Dear Chief Williams, this letter is to signal the Walpole Island First Nation that the Assembly of First Nations fully supports the upcoming protest march April 3, 1992 against Chemical Valley. First Nations across the country have and continue to suffer from exposure to toxic substances and environmental degradation. We can no longer stand by and experience the contamination of our waters, communities, and traditional lands. To protect our environment means respect for Mother Earth, our community health, and future generations. I strongly encourage the efforts of Walpole Island First Nations towards this end. Perseverance has its dividends through public awareness. First Nations will gain the support necessary to motivate the comatose political will of the federal and provincial governments and industry to deal effectively with this environmental desecration. Sincerely, Ovid Mercury. Thank you. So we have from the Assembly First Nations, Bill Montour, our brother Mohawk. He knows how to deal with these things.
Thank you, Chief Williams, for inviting me to speak today. I give thanks to the Creator for that we're here in good health, that our Mother Earth is being blessed by our elder brother, the sun. That hasn't changed. But some of our brothers in corporate Canada and the corporate world only deal with bottom lines and a financial sheet. I'm here today to deliver a message on behalf of the Assembly of First Nations and National Chief Ovid Mercury. In the most simple terms, First Nations are not and will not be apologists for Canadian government and industry.
Yeah.
This protest here today speaks of the truth and the revelations of environmental degradation so long denied for the sake of development.
Yeah.
We are here today to motivate the political will of Canada out of the closet, to start the protest of change towards responsible environmental management, which First Nations have voiced for many years. First Nations, as well as contemporary Canadian societies, have been subjected to toxic and environmental contamination far too long. We are witnessing the contamination of water, soil, and traditional foods from industrial pollutants all across Canada, particularly in First Nation communities. We are witnessing significant death rates, respiratory diseases caused by industrial pollutants. Many of our elders speak of generations ago. Causes of death and disease attributed to pollutions were unheard of. Today our people are dying. Industry is eating away at the very fabric of our life cycles. The water, the earth, and the air we breathe. We can safely say that the Canadian government and industry has not had the courage to challenge their own institutions on environmental management and land use activities. We are gathered here today to challenge the governments and industry to stop the ecological disaster brought on by their fundamental lack of respect for our environment. I ask the Canadian government and industry, what value will economic power have if our nations perish due to environmental degradation and destruction? Excuse me. A balance must be struck between economic prosperity and sustainable management practices of resources such as those practiced by First Nations for thousands of years. First Nations are prepared to provide leadership in the use and care of the environment, and we shall persevere to protect our communities and lands from environmental desecration. The message is simple. First Nations will not stand for environmental atrocities. Today marks the many occasions by which we, as First Nations, shall move forward. And I point to the sign. We the people demand. Political people can only go so far. It's the people that make the difference. So fight hard, stay solid. We can win. Now I'll go on.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad to see so many people here this morning. I'm glad that I have an opportunity to be here with you. Because one of the things that we are trying to get across to people, especially non-Indian people, is that the water is one of the sacred gifts that has been given to us by the Creator. It's a medicine that we have. And in order for that medicine to be used, not only by our people, but all people, it has to be clean. And right now the water is not clean. The effects are not only happening in Walpole Island, but they're happening to all the communities along the Great Lakes. There are 65 of our communities along the Great Lakes that are being affected. And the levels of contaminants among our people are almost double those of non-Indian people who work with contaminants. Our lifestyles are affected.
I don't have any extra.
Our children are affected. And that's when we must make a choice. And the choice you make this morning is to stand up and to tell people that you will not tolerate any longer the chemical spills that are happening and the effects in your community. We must tell people that their attitudes have to change. Their attitudes that money is more important than human lives of our children, because that will never, ever be the case for our people. We have to stay strong together, stand together. We give our support, and the communities that are here that give support, and especially the children that are here this morning, because it's the children who will carry on the struggles that we have and the fights that we have to find justice, to stop these kinds of injustices that we're having right now, to stop the crimes against nature that we have, so that we are able to live in a safe environment. And I thank you for coming out and showing the Canadian public, showing this company Polysar, that you care what happens to you. Keep up the fight.
Thank you, Murray. We appreciate the support of the Chiefs of Ontario. Also today, I had to get the assistance of Phil Manetch to get an introduction to the local police here for a permit, some better understanding. Also, he's a member of the London District Chiefs, so I'll ask Brother Phil to say a few words. Hello, Ojibwe. Anishna. Bob asked me the other day about getting a permit to come here. When Bob asked me
about getting a permit to come here. I said, it won't matter. If we stand up for what we believe in, we'll come and do it anyways. So it's good to see everybody here. And just like what the previous chiefs said, Bill Montour, Gordy Peters, and your chief. I think why we're here today is we were told these things from our elders a long time ago. And we're here to tell these people of the understanding that we have for life. For life in the animals, the birds, this earth. And I think this is the whole purpose why we are here. Because we were taught that circle of life, where we have respect amongst each other, amongst our fellow brothers, amongst everything. And that understanding comes down to the spirituality of the Creator. And as we as people, we have that understanding. And we are a people that do not create problems. We are here to help solve those problems. And that is given that understanding. And as the chief earlier said, when the media asked, what are we going to do about the problem? It's not what we are going to do about the problem, it's what they're going to do about the problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Maness. Very inspiring. Is Chief Larry Johnson here? We was going to have Chief Larry Johnson of the Caldwells say a few words. I don't know if any of you know that the Caldwells as yet don't have no land base. Okay. With that, I'd like to introduce to you Paul Huguet, MPP from Sarnia. He will say a few words.
Thanks very much, Bob. Let me say, first of all, that I'm saddened to be standing here this morning having to deal with something that's so very important to you and should be important to all of us as human beings. The water and the air and the earth are gifts of God. And we had better start learning as a society that they are gifts. And it is our trust to pass those gifts on to your children and our children. With regard to the recent spills here at Polysar, I want to assure you that those spills will be fully investigated, and if charges can be laid, they will be laid, and they will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But that doesn't solve our problem. Our problem is bigger than fines and water pipelines. Our problem is getting each and every one of us as human beings to understand that we are part of our environment and our environment is part of us. There is not one without the other. In all the research that has been done by all the scientists in the world, they have never found another planet that can support life. Quite clearly, we have no place else to go but here, and we'd better learn to treat this land with respect. I want to give you my pledge that I fully support what you're doing here today. I fully support the cleaning up of our industry, and I want you to know that the industry and its people, by and large, are trying to do it. It's not fast enough for you, it's not fast enough for me, and we've got to keep the pressure on to make sure it's done. Our future and our children's future depend on it. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
be here to be part of such a demonstration for the reason, not for the people, yes, for the people, but the reason we're here is very sad. It seems unfair that we have been blessed with the water and the air and everything that we have for our creation, that it has been so badly destroyed. As Bob has said to you, I pledge to you my support that this billing stop.
We want a health study.
That sounds like a good idea to me. I thought that you had had some health studies, but perhaps you need the more up-to-date ones.
They cut us off because it's too risky.
Who cut you off?
The Robertson report was bunk.
Okay, thanks. I lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. I do find this whole episode very, very moving. It's perhaps no comfort to you, but I was raised beside your people, only up at the north end of the county. And it just seems a pity that we have to have demonstrations such as this in order to get the message across. However, I commend you for your spirit, for your efforts to be here and to bring this out as you have done. As I said before, I pledge to you all the help I can get, that the spillers be prosecuted, that the fines be big enough that they'll get the message.
Right
And
on!
hopefully that it will take the effort of us as government, of you as a nation, and of the valley as an industry. Let's face it, we need the industry because of industry we have the wealth that we have in our pockets. But I think if we all work together, we can all make it better. Thank you very much.
Williams, members of the Walpole Island Bills Committee, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to stand together today with our friends and neighbors from Walpole Island Nation. We are standing together with you to protect and clean up the St. Clair River. A major problem is the ongoing chemical spills into the St. Clair River. The citizens of Wallsburg and Walpole Island First Nation are subject to the threat of spills every single day of their lives. This must stop. I call upon the Honorable Ruth Greer, Minister of the Environment, to impose a significant levy, charge, or fine on any and all companies which have serious spills of pollutants into the St. Clair River. An equally serious problem is the daily discharges of chemicals to the St. Clair River. Under limits and guidelines put in place by the Ministry of the Environment, local industry is allowed, even today as we speak, to discharge chemicals into the St. Clair River legally. This must stop. I call upon local industry and the Ministry of the Environment to lay out a plan to go after zero discharge technology and lay out a plan to tell us how you're going to do it, how long it's going to take, and let's get down to business. I just want to, in closing, say that the time for results is now. We are fed up. We're not going to take it anymore. And by working together and staying together, we can fight the pollution of the St. Clair River. And by working together and staying together, we can win the fight, and we're going to win the fight. Thank you.
Okay, along with Mayor Wesley, he brought riding shotgun with him. He wants to say a few words. A councilor from Wallsburg, Kevin Blake. Whenever I hear the ancient drums and ancient songs of the tribes, it stirs a feeling of emotion deep within my heart. On behalf of the mayor and the council of the corporation of the town of Wallsburg, I'm pleased to be here in support of the concerns of the people of Walpole Island, respecting the cleanup of the St. Clair River and a stop to the discharge of harmful chemicals and pollutants by upriver industries and businesses. For too long, we have looked the other way. We have ignored our responsibilities, not just to ourselves, but to our neighbors, but also to succeeding generations who have a right to a clean river, free of chemical contamination. That right is being taken away, ever so slowly, ever so permanently. The town of Wallaceburg uses the St. Clair River as a source of drinking water. We will continue to use this source until the Lake Huron pipeline becomes a reality. But let no one misunderstand that one solution does not solve all problems. The St. Clair River, to be a clean river, must be free of pollution and contaminants that come from spill and discharges. We stand with Walpole Island and fully support their request for action now when it still makes a difference.
Thank you. So that shows you that we have some political friends here. This part of the program is the political side. We also have with us some people that are from our First Nations of River Miller. But I will turn now this part of the program back to Kenny Sony, our able chairperson. Thank you. I should tell you that Rex Crawford called me the other day and that he didn't know right away we was having this demonstration, otherwise he'd have been here, but he sends his support for us. Thank you.
We have Reverend Miller. He's here to come up to the front here. Reverend Miller here is our Reverend on a reserve here. He's going to have a few words.
Go get him, Rick!
Rather get you in church on Sunday, Ed. I would like to thank Chief Bob Williams for inviting me to be here this morning. My remarks are really for the non-native people that are present this morning. I've had the privilege of ministering to the people of God on Walpole Island for some 4.5 years now, and I find that they're a kind, generous, and hospitable people who bring harm to no one. As I visit with the people in my parish, I see the anxiety in the eyes of the mothers as they watch their children drink the water from the river. I hear the frustration of the guides and the hunters as they worry about the wetlands, for it is here that they earn their living. A pipeline only solves the problem of water consumption. It does not solve the problem of the wetlands. The wetlands are important to these people because of the needed revenues that they bring to the community. The security of the wetlands is necessary for the entire ecosystem that we call the Great Lakes. Our Creator gave us this land for our use. It is not a consumable item. We all have a responsibility to leave a healthy planet for our children and our grandchildren. And now I wish to read a letter that I received from the Bishop of Huron yesterday and addressed to Chief Williams. I am writing to support the people of Walpole Island and the people of other communities along the St. Clair River in their struggle to have clean, non-contaminated water for themselves and their children. Every time I hear of another contamination of the river and the need to transport water to various communities, I am angered. I find it unacceptable that, as we approach the beginning of the 21st century, and as we live next to the largest supply of fresh water in the world, people should be faced with this ongoing problem. I would join you in your presentation to all levels of government with the appeal that surely it is time to change this system to make sure that the possibility of contamination of the water is removed and that people living along the banks of the St. Clair River be guaranteed a clean, pure water supply.
Yeah!
I support you in your struggle. And the letter is signed by Percy O'Driscoll, the Anglican Bishop of Huron, and by Archdeacon David Weller, the General Secretary of the Anglican Church of Canada. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Miller. Our next speaker he's from the University of Western Ontario. He's Professor Joe Clemens. He deals with a lot of chemicals, and he's going to give us just an outline of what's been going into our river.
Thank you very much, and I thank the Chief for asking me. I think many of you know me from previous meetings the last 10 years that they've had spill after spill. Sooner or later, and sooner hopefully Walpole calls me, they tell them it's safe, there's no problem. Then I go and look it up, and I'm shocked, you know? I can't believe that they're telling him that. It's like the last spill with the chemical isobutylene. When that happened, they said, safe, go drink it. When I looked it up, sure enough, it caused heart attacks in the youngsters, caused seizures in the youngsters. It was bad stuff. The spill before that benzene, you remember that. And we went to the meeting, and they say again, it's safe, it's safe. I look it up, it's not safe. So what are we going to do about it? When they do a study, what happens? My friends did a study. They said, look, if we include Walpole in that health study, we're going to get positive results. We're going to get significant results. We can't stand that, so we won't include Walpole. They cheated on us. So what are we going to do about that? I don't know. I'm glad that they're going to keep calling me so I can go look it up and tell you what's there. But the next time those suckers tell you, next time those suckers from Polysar or whatever tell you it's safe, make sure the directors are out there, their kids and their grandchildren are out there, and they're drinking this stuff.
Thank you, Joe Clemens. We can have Dick Shudo or Frank Schoonover from Harson's Island. They're here.
Good morning. I'm Frank Schoonover. I'm a non-native who feels the same way about the water, the air, the soil, and the wildlife as Chief Williams. So you don't have to be a native Aboriginal person to feel the way he does. On Harson's Island, we have even more severe water problems than you do. We don't have a municipal water system. About 80–90% of the homes there take their water directly from the river. Plus, they carry their drinking water from a little water station that we have on the island that draws water from the Algonac. So that means we bathe, wash dishes, do a lot of things with untreated river water. Now, for years, we would take samples of our untreated river water to the health department, and they would perform a test, and they say, okay, you know, don't drink the stuff, but it's okay. There's no toxics in it, you know, there's no human waste. Or the human waste that they measure is so diluted that it's not much of a problem. Now, that's a chemistry test that any high school student with a couple hours of instruction can perform. There's nothing magic about it. What they haven't been telling us is that all these other chemicals that are being dumped into the St. Clair River by Chemical Valley, and on our side too, we've had some problems up at Port Huron, are toxic, and they don't measure those, because to measure those you've got to have some very expensive, complex equipment to do that. So in the meantime, the chemicals that are dumped in on your side, we've been told stay on your side, and the chemicals that they dump on our side stay on our side, which we now know is a colossal big lie. We've been lied to all these years. Right. We're not buying the big lie anymore. And this morning, I'm here to tell you that the Harson's Island St. Clair Flats Homeowners Association fully supports this demonstration. The Lake St. Clair Advisory Committee has a full-time person working on that, Dean Barnett, who's spoken about all the chemicals that are being dumped in there. They're also right behind and supporting this program. I intend, when I get back to Michigan, to contact the Lake St. Clair Walleye Club, the Michigan United Conservation Club, and the Michigan Ontario Muskie Club, and get all the sportsmen behind this program. Because if the marsh wetlands of Walpole Island, Squirrel Island, and that area are being poisoned, the same has got to be happening to our side. And we need political pressure from both the U.S. and Canada to put a stop to this.
Right on! Yeah!
Now, toxic waste is being dumped in there because they haven't bothered to make the investments to clean it up.
That's right!
And the sad part about it, that many times cleaning up their own toxic waste is a profitable enterprise. Every one of you, your car has permanent antifreeze in it, ethylene glycol. That used to be dumped in the river by Union Carbide, and then one day somebody noticed, hey, that river doesn't freeze. We not only poisoned it, but it doesn't freeze anymore. What do we got here? A new industry was the answer, a product called permanent antifreeze, and every one of your cars and trucks uses this stuff. 3M, a Minnesota company, has a policy where every time they develop a product or a plant, they restrict the flow of gases and pollutants to virtually zero. And they found out that that it pays, it's profitable. Last summer we had a gas spill from Canada that came over Harson's Island, and several of my friends woke up in the middle of the night. Their eyes were burning, their lungs were filling up with some kind of a liquid. I mean, they were filling up with liquid because they were inflamed by this product. In a couple of days it went away. We don't know what the heck happened. Our papers don't inform us. Now the Times Herald has got a reporter here today who's working on this project, and the Detroit Free Press have got an environmental reporter who's in my home day before yesterday, and he's working on this project. So I think you're going to see much more information passed on to the Michigan side of the border that wasn't there before, and you're going to get much more support and help out of us than you've had in the past. Thank you. All more spills!
Thank you, Frank Schoonover from Harson's Island. I don't got a speech made up myself. I took the responsibility in doing this organization for this because I am tired of this. Like many of the parents here, I've got a little boy. I'm really worried about his future and our children's future. The suggestion I was thinking of was maybe we should get these representatives from Polysar here and bring them on the island, let them live down there about 6 months and see how they let them eat muskrat and everything and see how they feel, and they had to drink their own water.
Let us swim in the water!
That's an idea. Maybe we bring them down there for that. Yeah, I'll give them the deformed rats, and they're better tasting.
We're tired of it!
All I can say is I thank you for coming out today. This is a great turnout on such short notice. I think my co-chairman would like to have something to say as well, Corey Tushkami. Your hand.
Bonjour. I'm speaking on behalf of the Anishinaabe. My aunt began with Indian prayer. And I was always taught that we should pray as a people. And Silas, our elder that just passed away not too long ago, he always told me, he said, you pray and you put that sema down. When you put that sema down before the Creator, He'll hear our prayers. And this is what I would encourage us as a nation to pray. And pray against this chemical valley that it would stop. Because it is a spirit that is coming against us as a people, and it's destroying our ways. I'm happy that the day is good. When we were coming up, I was saying, Creator, help us. I haven't seen a sign. And when I was coming along the way here, I was praying, and I was all alone in my car. I had a chance to pray for this meeting. And as I was praying, I seen these two hawks. One flew right towards my car, and the other was circling high above. And these were the red tails. It was a good sign that the Creator was with us. Chimigwech.
What we're going to do here is I think we're still make some noise here for a while, make sure these people hear us out. So maybe we can, we're going to close with a prayer for now. No, actually, we'll wait till everything's done. I think right now maybe we'll make some noise so everybody get their signs together and let's hear these people, make sure they hear us out.
No more spills! 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 No more
Okay, if anybody from Walpole or any other reserves, surrounding communities want to come up here and have their say, you're welcome to. How about Ed? Pretty local person.
Oh, demonstrator today. And I wouldn't mind hearing somebody from Polysar come out here and or maybe have them bring us out to drink water or something. This chanting out here is giving me a little bit of a thirst. So.
Bet you he's using a water cooler. It's still water only at these plants.
You know, there's people on Walpole Island buying water filters, Polysar. Some of them cost $1,000. Some of them, you know, at the last spill that we had, my daughter was working down at the pool hall there, and when I come in, I seen these two salesmen. They had some water filters. The same day we had spills on the island. I told them, you better go up to the council office over there and get some permission to fleece our people with these water filters. You know, I know on reading lots of information about these water filters. You know, they come in and they tell us it's good, and there's the same NSA water filters. The state of Minnesota made that company buy back every water filter because they were making false claims. And you see these other places where there ain't too much water. Ottawa right now is devising a plan where they're going to sell barrels of water on the world market. And it's going to be as expensive as oil is to some countries. We're surrounded by water on Walpole Island, and it's a paradox that I can't drink that water.
We have a water filtration plant that tests for over 200 elements within the water, and they tell us it's okay to drink. That's what the Ministry of Environment tells us. That last spill, when they dumped all that isobutylene in the river, they didn't tell us our water treatment plant didn't shut down for 12 hours after that happened. I'm alarmed that the government, they didn't publicly release the Robertson report yet, but they only gave us about a quarter page in the documents there. Said that we are so unique we deserve our own health study.
Bring us to the sex clinic in London. Let them look at the map. Show them how many kids are there.
My wife had a miscarriage about 10 years ago. There's been high incident rates of miscarriage on Walpole Island.
Gotta stop!
They're killing our unborn. How much genetic defects will there be a generation from now? Are they going to wait that long? They say they've only been keeping statistics since 1986. I went for a ride on this little boat out in the back here on a RAP program meeting, and they told us that the river is now 70% cleaner than it was 10 years ago. But they only been keeping records for a short period of time. Dow dumped over 20,000 tons of mercury into our river between the early 50s and early 60s. That never goes away. I've been eating fish. I've been feeding in that river. And I'll continue to do so in my traditional ways. We should invite these people to come down to our next feast. Let's prepare them a feast this summer, where they'll come and partake with us all our natural foods. Have them sit down and drink the same water that we're drinking. There's incredible numbers of environmental groups out there today, all over the place. Big presidents of corporations, they belong to these environmental groups. These different corporations in Chemical Valley, they make substantial donations to these environmental groups. Why? Why don't they make substantial improvements to our river? Out of all those environmental groups, we don't see any one, not one, come up here and bark at these companies on our behalf. Is there any environmental people out there?
Yeah, right here. If you have a
There we go.
film,
Thanks for coming over. You know, he belongs to an organization. How many numbers are in your organization?
Which one?
In Windsor.
Yeah, that would be, I would have loved to see that.
Are you the only one today?
2 or 3 other ones here.
That's what I like to see. But, you know, by and large, no one has come out on our behalf. No big, large environmental group has come out on our behalf. We have a lot of young warriors today. Our battle isn't with guns anymore. We're not playing cowboys and Indians anymore. We're battles to be fought in high places.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he meant that.
Battles to be fought in our minds, to tell our children to stay in school, become biologists, become zoologists, epidemiologists, people who can fight our fight for us. They say they pollute and they want us to prove
Why don't you decide?
that it's affecting us.
Let me know. And
We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't affecting us. Gretchen.
Okay, we're gonna have our drums here do a song, and then let's have hear some people make some noise out there. So we're gonna have our drummers back up here again.
Well, break comes.
Okay.
I know Ruth Spears going to be in the area, and she may not find it.
So if she's going to be, let's see if we can't firm up this year.
But what I'd like to do is just give her a report.
Oh, I will. I will. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets all the wrong paper in the TV. But as I said, I'll give her a much fuller report than what she's going to see in the TV and the paper. I will. wish I could have had that paper. If they pulled out.
Oh, we got two of them.
I'd like to have had that pulled into, it would have been.
There is two of them. We gave them 2 copies. They're both the same. So you can get
Where do I get it? From Bob.
We as Native people were given by the Creator this land to protect, to be keepers and caretakers of this land. We have survived
because our men, the warriors, have kept the sacred fires burning and our wigwams have been kept warm. We as Native women have been given a bowl of water that we hold for all the world to see. And in that water is the fresh, clean water that the Creator gave to us. He gave us a secret, and He gave us a miracle to bring forth birth. At the time of conception, our babies burst forward in a flood of water. When this flood of water is destroyed and our bodies are poisoned, these babies cannot joyfully burst forward. They come out maimed and destroyed before they get the first breath of life. If this bowl of water dries up, we as Native people will be gone. But when the bowl is dry, all humanity will go, and the world and humanity as we know it now will be gone. Thank you, Polysar.
Okay, Evelyn. I think we're gonna close right now. Thank you for everybody for the support. I mean, geez, I couldn't believe how many people showed up today. Thank you for your support and everything. We're gonna close it now. A little noise. First, we're gonna have Gladys Williams have a closing prayer for us for Safe Trip Home. Gladys Williams can come up. Oh.
This was really a nice turnout, and I hope everybody understands that it's not only for ourselves, it's for all our brothers. As everyone says, this includes us and our children. And as an elder, I see that now things are not so well with our children. Even my children, my sons, my daughters, we have problems. So let's pray and hoping that this will not have to continue going on and on. Somehow that it will stop and that the water will be clean for us. Pintun manda shamne do mandistam bish. Min mogande manat studige bish. Je bin poa. Not more kina jinanak doing poa team and any kei. Je binak samanda nasleyan dinamam bish Nikoyan. Kina kabinet manda. Not more shinan kina manda jinakio at kandagay. Kunda awapski waji gani ke each can who want you enough to quantum beach. Nagay emi juar manush kana kinagan kapsandana wayos ejenda went ma kinagay wanda awapski waji kni nagay wanda nishna back kinan ejenda went ma jibina kinagay mi manesh percent ma jamne.
Thank you, Gladys. Okay, we have the police car here back. When everybody goes back to the municipal parking lot, we just follow behind them. It's over here to my right over here. Say your signs out. We're gonna be back. We're gonna have a spill soon. I know that. Take them back to the truck, Rick Nani's truck, I guess. We have our police car, so everybody can gather back again over there with our veterans in front, our elders.
Kelly.
We have security follow the same pattern in which we started out with, please.
mother's looking for you.
For about a month, huh?
Summarize the meeting and wrap it up. Walking that way. Who, me?
Yeah,
I'm
like-
here. I'm here to help. So that's where we're headed.